I love that aspect that I am working in one of the oldest crafts. I find it fascinating that it is the first form of fabric ever invented, but that most of the general public has never heard of it. The oldest examples of felt that we have are over 8,000 years old. They were found in tombs in Siberia. Felt was very important to the nomadic people of Siberia and Central Asia because it is so durable. I work in a fiber called merino roving, which is wool that comes off of a sheep and has been combed and washed and dyed and carded. I was always very excited about the possibilities, the endless possibilities of what you can do with felt. Because it is so sculptural, you can literally do anything with felt. This job is really hard. It's a very physical job. It's really long hours, as I think probably a lot of craft is. It's a lot of work to make something by hand, but that is how you get something that doesn't look like it was made in a factory.
I'm Taiwanese American, and I went back to my roots. I went through all those like Asian influence, like watercolors, arts, and I used enamel to kind of reinterpret that watercolor characteristics, and I create like a series of, it's called In Bloom. It's kind of like a mix of Chinese watercolor and Art Nouveau together. You know, there was like peony, orchid, there's like all those like Chinese influence, like you can see a lot of those flowers in like Chinese painting and all that.
The manufacturing era of furniture, probably from post-World War II into the 90s, I think North Carolina was really a hub, and still is to a degree. There is a reference to historical construction, but it's also, the reality is, you know, I'm working in the modern era, so I can't mill everything by hand. You know, it's a balance. I'm happy to be a part of that history. It's evolving, I think, but it's a part of it. It's as old as humanity, probably, kind of like the pursuit of like a beautiful thing.
People have been making pottery for millennia, so I'm pulling some from some Japanese influences and British influences that have kind of moved through history into an American tradition. I sort of fell into some traditions by moving to North Carolina, which has such a extremely rich history of ceramics. So I'm using all local clay and building off of some of the forms and traditions that have been in North Carolina for generations. And North Carolina just has such a long tradition of making pots for use, you know, sort of straightforward, functional things. There's so much space today to reinterpret those traditions and to bring in, you know, different surfaces and more artistic influences. The arts and crafts in particular are how our culture creates the future while connecting it very deeply to the past and history.